Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I'm here in our pantry room. Now this room used to be my oldest son's bedroom, and we have converted it into a full pantry. It's where we keep all of our food stores. And so you can see here I have a lot of my home canned produce and whatnot, and then back here I've got some freeze-dried stuff. This is Thrive and Honeyville, and I used to buy a lot from them. I also have my new favorite dehydrated freeze-dried place, and that's Mother Earth, and I have them stored back there. We're still not done. In fact, I still have to finish organizing because Mr. Rain was the one that moved everything around and is in the process of painting the walls, and so he's been painting each wall a little bit at a time. And some things got rearranged a little bit differently than I would do it. So I'm having a hard time finding everything. So I still want to finish rearranging and getting all my dehydrated stuff in one place, all my wet canned stuff in another place, and so on. And then the freeze-dried stuff in another place. But anyway, so I came in here to get a jar of my mixed greens blend. This is still from 2017. But my jar that I keep in the kitchen that I use for, I always take a big handful or a pinch, depending on what I'm making, and add it into whatever. It doesn't matter if it's breakfast sausage, hamburger patties, gravies, casseroles. I've even gotten to where now I'll sprinkle it right onto my food to get even more of the goodness that's in these greens. Now, if you're curious of what I put in my mixed greens blend, it changes every year depending on how much of what things I'm getting from the garden, but it's all kinds of good stuff in here, from grape leaves to stinging nettle to kale and whatnot. I'll go ahead and link to my video right up here, my last one that I did for 2018 of my mixed greens blend. And one of the reasons I wanted to shoot this video is that I get a lot of people that ask about if I sell my dried herbs, because back here, up in here and over here, you can see right back here, I have a whole bunch of dried herbs. This isn't my mixed greens. That's on another shelf on the other side of this one, because we have another whole roll of shelves over there. Anyway, these are just the herbs that I grow in my garden. And some of those, like I said, there's some even up in here on this top shelf here. They're kind of scattered around a little bit. He did a pretty good job trying to arrange things, but still, we're all a little different, and I'm the one that's back here, so I have to have things correct. So I know where to find stuff. But yeah, I get people that ask if I sell my dried herbs, or if I even sell my mixed greens blend, or if I sell my tea blends. Well, I don't really make a tea blend. When I make a pot of tea, I just mix up whatever herbs together sounds good to me at the time. And so I don't have any set jarred up mixed tea blend, or, like I do my mixed greens. At least not anymore. I used to do that a few years ago. I don't do it anymore. But anyway, I wanted to answer this question because I get so many people asking me that. And no, at least not at this time, I am not selling my stuff. Now, even though I'm ahead quite a bit on my mixed greens blend, I like to keep it that way. What I dehydrate up and put up, even if I can get 2 years ahead, I like to keep it that way. And you have to understand that even putting away a year's worth or more to make sure to get us through the year, I have 3 dehydrators, and some days I'm running all 3 of them all through the spring, summer, and fall. And I do that then because that's when everything's coming in. And I'm also trying to make the most of our solar power. So we got a lot of solar power coming in at those times of the years. And that's when I run my electric dehydrators. Everything else gets run off of, when I dehydrate it through the winter time, it's usually next to the wood stove. And even then I can't do a whole lot. So it's just pretty much limited to using for drying citrus peel, apple slices, or whatever, and I make beef jerky, venison jerky, and all that on the wood stove. But anyway, because, it is a lot of work. I'm constantly dehydrating stuff, and just to have enough for us and for family as well, to share with family. And so at this time, I'm not in a place where I feel comfortable selling what I have, because my whole purpose of doing what I'm doing is to stay ahead. Besides, I don't know if maybe next year something's going to happen and maybe our whole garden is a flop, or we simply don't have time because some major crisis happens and we have to focus our attentions on that and can't be dealing with garden related stuff and can't be dehydrating stuff. So that's why one of the reasons why I'm not selling that. And also you have to understand that a jar like this, or even even a pint-sized jar, I'm going to have to charge a lot more for this stuff than you can get. Like, let's say you go to Mountain Rose Herbs, you can get a much better price because that's their whole business is about dehydrating. So they're set up, they're set up to dehydrate mass amounts at a time, where I'm not. And so just to keep up on our own supply, I'm having to run 2 to 3 dehydrators a day through those times of the month, and that's just for us. So, and I simply just don't have the time to do that much to get to a point where I'm selling it. So, I'm sorry about that, but that's just the way it is. And, again, I don't even know what I would charge for a quart-sized jar. There's a lot of vegetables in here. This is a lot. And so to sell a quart-sized jar or even a pint-sized jar it's going to cost quite a bit. I'm going to be charging, I tell you what, a lot more than you would pay at Mother Earth or Mountain Rose Herbs to get such things. So I'd have to make up for the energy used, for my time that's put into it. And sure, we might be using solar power, but we put a lot of money into our solar power setup. It's still a drain on the batteries, and there's still upkeep involved. So there's a lot of things you have to consider, and I think most people wouldn't be willing to pay what I would have to charge. I do appreciate, though, people being willing to want to buy from me, because I know I grow organically and I do the best I can to take good care of my plants and all that stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and direct you back to those other places, because I think that's going to be your best bet if you're looking for buying some dried herbs or even dried greens. But the other thing is too, the reason I do the videos on the mixed greens blends and things like that and show you how I use them is so that you can get creative and consider all the things you're growing in your garden that you probably don't even realize that are edible, that are high in minerals, such as your grape leaves, like I mentioned, your strawberry leaves, your carrot tops. Kale, around here, kale grows really well, so we get lots and lots of kale. You can dehydrate, even if you don't like kale. It's a great idea to dehydrate it up and put it in there because it mellows out the flavor. You can powder it up. You can just, I do this to kind of break it up. I don't powder it. And then put it in whatever foods. And typically, if you don't go overboard and put too much in, no one's even going to notice a difference in flavor. So maybe even you don't like the taste of kale, but it's pretty certain that you won't notice the flavor of it when it's in this form and added to your foods. And you're still getting a good amount of those really good nutrients from your dried herbs. So anyway, so there you go. And I'm hoping that you'll watch the video on the mixed greens and start considering, plantain, there's another one, borage leaves and amaranth leaves and all this stuff that goes in there. There's probably all kinds of dandelion leaves. Oh, I can't forget that. I put tons of dandelion leaves in these things, and almost everybody can grow dandelion. So, whether they want to or not. And so that's a really good thing that you can pick and dry up and then just make your own mixed greens blend. That's what it should be all about anyway. So remember, our channel is about helping you to become more self-sufficient. Though, of course, we do make things. Like we make our soaps and our skin creams and Mr. Rain's wood products, and I crochet and I sew, and we sell a lot of stuff on our Etsy store, and we truly, truly, truly appreciate all those who support us in that way. But again, remember, I have videos on how to make all that stuff yourself. Not all of it, but like the skirts and the aprons and how to crochet at least the smaller things. I've got the videos on all that kind of stuff out there. So that's the main reason why we do what we do, is just to help show people what we do, how we do it, to consider for yourself and start looking into how best you can become more self-sufficient and looking out for your future of you and your family. Oh yeah, and I was going to show you the other side. I'm going to go ahead and show you a picture right here of how the other side looks. There's a couple different angles, and you can see some of the different things I've got. Mother Earth products. I've got buckets that I store my grains in and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and then one of these days when I finish organizing this place and we finish getting this room painted up, maybe I'll take you on a full tour of this room. But I'm really liking how it's turned out, having the row of shelves in the middle and the shelves on the other side and the shelves right in front of me. And it's working out really good, making it easier for me to organize and get to everything that's in here. Okay, so someday maybe we'll do a full tour. But anyway, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe you learned something new. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.